with millionaires. The narrative is tax loops, accounts offshore squares. It's not allowed.
Yo, what's good? What's good, man? This is Coin Gang Ministries, and I'm your homie, your partner, your bro, Ken Billions. What's happening with y'all, man? It's been a minute. Took some time off, but we back, right? Like we never left. What's going on with y'all, man? Come talk to me. As if you used to this, then you already know how we do, man. If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. The levels is good, the voice is good, then we gonna cook like we do. Hopefully, wherever you at, you are good, you are safe, you are around people that rock with you, you are loved. You ain't got to audition. You could show up how you are, and people got massive love for you. That's what I want for you. So hopefully, you are there right now. All right. As always, man, if you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. What's good with y'all? This is a personal development ministry for those that don't know. Right? We work on self here. We like to leave better than we came. And everybody here is an investor. And I don't mean Dogecoin, that's cool. That's dope. I don't mean Bitcoin, that's dope. That's all dope. And I don't mean AMC. We are investors in the number one stock that produces the greatest return on investment. And that is the accountability business. Everything is our fault. Right? See, when you have that mindset, you can never buy into a victim narrative. No matter what happens, if you're theirs, if it's on your turf, it's our fault. So we are investors. So I hope that you guys are cashing in on your investment of investing in the accountability business. Hey, real quick before I even get started, what are y'all reading? So I'm reading two thick joints right now. Hopefully y'all are reading. And hopefully you're not trying to go back to normal post-COVID. Hopefully you're not trying to go back to normal. Hopefully you're creating the new normal. So I would hate to see a lot of people go back to a lot of their regular habits. The world froze for a second. So I would hate to see people, especially people that rock with me, you trying to go back to normal. Anyway, what are you guys reading, man? Put something in the chat. Let me know what's going on, what you guys are reading. So I'm reading two thick joints right now. Well, I'm reading a couple one, but I'm traveling right now. And one of the books I'm reading, this is called The Code Breaker. And it's an interesting book because it's about this woman right here, Jennifer Doudna. And she is the spearheader of gene editing and CRISPR. So gene editing, for those that don't know, is they can turn a gene on and off. Right? They could turn a gene on and off. For example, if you come from a family that has cancer, they can turn that gene off in an embryo. Very, very, very interesting stuff happening going on. And I believe there will be no more live births probably 100 years from now. Children will be engineered. But that's what I'm reading right now. It's called The Code Breaker by Walter Isaacs. And I am reading a book called Recapture the Rapture, Rethinking God, Sex, and Death in a World That's Lost Its Mind. So a lot of my reading material represent the times, okay? And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about today. All right? So we're going to talk about mirrors. We're going to talk about the process. Very, very important, the process. We're going to talk about true love. And I don't mean that in a romantic kind of way. Well, I guess I do. But I'm going to give you the real definition of what true love is. All right? And then we're going to talk about master teachers. Master teachers. So if you don't know, here at Coin Game, we have a Declaration of Independence. This Declaration of Independence separates us from other people. It's not mine, it's ours. All right? And our Declaration of Independence goes a little something like this. We believe in heaven now. What that means is erase the concept of you dying to go to heaven. Heaven is here, right? And we want it now. But we'll put in the work though. So it's not necessarily entitled by doing nothing. It's putting in the work and expecting a maximum result, maximum effort and maximum result. So it's heaven in our finances, in our parenting. It's heaven in our fellowship, right? The best of the best is our Declaration of Independence. We believe in necessary narcissism. Don't be afraid of the word narcissist. That is a way social justice warriors, it's an attack by social justice warriors to get you to be normal. They don't want you to have an inflated sense of importance. And you need that in today's world that doesn't really have a lot of words of affirmation for you. We believe in do with that will, but no harm. That means do whatever you want. Just don't do any harm. We believe in selfish now, selfless later. Many of you have to practice that. You've never actually been selfish. You've been selfless, and then you complain about what you have and what you don't have. You can't give anything unless your cup runneth over first. Top shelf or nothing. That means we expect the best or nothing. It's a very extreme declaration of independence. Oh, root chakra activation. If you know anything about the root chakra, well, imagine that times 10. Food, clothes, and shelter are basic necessities. But the best of it, though, okay? Fly high. Fly high means keep it on the up and up. Stay your ass out the gutter. Now, the gutter is where you came from. The gutter is old vagina and old peen and exes that say, hey, big head. Stay out the gutter. And of course, we seal that with 9 on the dope. That means the work that you put out is the highest quality work. Today's conversation is called Master Teacher. Master Teacher. I want to show you guys some pictures, and maybe you know some of these people, maybe you don't. Does anybody know this gentleman right here? Now, the topic of my conversation today is Master Teacher. And my journey from different master teachers to the one that I'm engaged with now, because my master teachers then are not my master teachers now. I've changed. So this is one of my beginning master teachers. Matter of fact, all the individuals that I show you are my beginning master teachers. These are the ones that I would say raised me, that helped me see the world differently. This gentleman's name is Phil Valentine, and I found Phil 20 years ago. And when I started listening to his words, changed my life. One of the things that I took from Reverend Phil is the preparation, how he approached his lectures, 10,000 word dissertations before he even got into his message. I appreciate Phil. Again, you know, when the mind is young, we could go any way. And he never gave me no bad information. So this is Reverend Phil, one of my early master teachers. All right. Anybody know this beautiful young lady? If you know it, go ahead and shout it out. Anybody know this young lady? Do you know her name? Another one of my master teachers. I used to ride around listening to her lectures in my car. She came at the game from a psychiatric standpoint of academia and put a lot of things in perspective. The people that I'm going to show you, they made this thing that you call black look really well. It's some stains on blackness, but these individuals made it look good, the ones that I'm going to show you. Anybody know this beautiful young lady who is transitioned now? Anybody in the chat? And don't just listen to me say their names. Write these people's name down and check out their work, right? It helped me, maybe it can help you. This is Frances Cress Welsing. She was a psychiatrist and she worked with children, and she's an individual that helped me look at black differently. I'm appreciative of her. I appreciate her work, and I believe that she can help you the same way she helped me. Now, the people that I'm showing you, I have transitioned to a different master teacher, right? These people helped raise me, and the natural course took over where I went to find other things. But there's a particular master that I'm going to tell you about, but stay with me. What about this gentleman right here? Does anybody know this gentleman? This charismatic gentleman. This brother was charcoal black. It don't get no more blacker than this man. But when he talked with confidence. He talked with no fear. Very controversial person. Not too many like him walking around in the mainstream, I would say. But he was respected on the streets and just courageous. Very, very, very courageous. This gentleman, his name is Khalid Muhammad. You would hear Khalid on hip hop songs. I believe he was on Ice Cube's Death Certificate. Hip hop was rocking with Khalid because Khalid was unapologetically black. And this picture doesn't do it justice. This man is charcoal black, and he wore it very, very, very well. This is Khalid Muhammad, another one of my master teachers. And what I learned from Khalid was to be courageous and strong. And he had a lot going on with him. And if you know the story, then you know. I'm not going to get into the politics of any of these individuals. I'm going to just breeze through the people that helped develop my mind. What about this gentleman right here? Now, this is one of those, if you know, you know. This is one of those, if you know, you know. The impact from this man, you had to be there to understand it. It's something that I can't describe because it was in the air. It was a language. It came with a style of dress. These are some of the unsung people, unsung heroes. This is one of those, if you know, you know. Many of you might not know, but let me put you on game. This is the father. This is Clarence 13X. I can't explain the nation of gods and earths to you. You had to be there. I would say, do a YouTube search. Many of your old rappers, from Busta Rhymes to Nas to Brand Nubian. I mean, the list goes on. The language that was coming from the nation of gods and earths was winding up in hip hop. Yo, son. You ever heard that? Yo, son. Hey, yo, God. The woman was referred to as the earth. Man, people will run up on you and be like, yo, what's today's mathematics? And if you didn't know, man, you're getting hands and feet put on you. You couldn't fake jacks at this time, baby. So I'm thankful for Father Allah and his contribution to the game and his contribution to me. Bear with me. I just want to ride down memory lane so you understand that this is the foundation to a lot of my thinking. So I've went on to do my own thing, but this is the foundation to a lot of my thinking. So this is Father Allah right here. I'm thankful for the Father. What about this gentleman right here? Now, a lot of the figures that I have shaped my mind are flawed individuals. My master teachers are flawed. Now, there's a range of flawedness, if that's a word, that they display, but I'm only dealing with their effect on me and not the politics. Okay? I'm definitely thankful for this gentleman because this gentleman produced a lot of great men. There is no Malcolm X without this gentleman. There is no Muhammad Ali that in the way that you know without this gentleman. This gentleman had a track record of cleaning black men up, if nothing else. Politics aside, men from the street had an avenue to change their lives. So I'm thankful for Elijah because he is the beginning, for real, of a lot of this conscious shit. You take Elijah away, there is, I don't know if you have a lot of the people that you look up to, put it like that. All right. Well, what about this young lady? She's cold. If you look on YouTube and you put in 7 circuits of the brain, she's gonna come up. The 7 circuits of the brain. Hey, you should write that down. You might want to check that out. See that was created when VHS tapes was popping. So when you look at the video quality, it's meh. But that's where the jewels is. See, the people that I'm showing you, they did not talk in meme. They didn't say things like, if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. See, that's talking in meme. These wasn't meme talkers. Do you understand? These was legit researchers and legit scholars, and they went up in the lion's den and battled mainstream academia. Her name is Jewel Pookrum. You should check her out. Write her name down, Jewel Pookrum, and look up 7 circuits of the brain. Now, I was listening to this stuff as a youngster. They did not talk and mean. They studied to show thyself approved. Ah, man. Very controversial figure, but I can't lie. This is the reason why I'm here today. Because I had a book of his when I was 17, about to turn 18 years old, called The Science of Creation. And it's because of that book that I wind up going down the path that I went down. A lot of politics surrounded this guy. I'm not going to deal with that. If you know, you know. But I would be a liar to say that I'm not here speaking to you today because of the literature from Dr. Malachi York and the Nawapian Nation. Over 20 years ago, I had a book called The Science of Creation. And it did something to my curious mind. It changed everything. So, you know, a lot of politics though. What about this man? Everybody that I'm showing you, you can go find on YouTube. So a lot of people come to me and they call me names but you have no clue. Today, I'm letting you know that these people that I'm showing you is the foundation of my thinking. I just have went on to do something else because I'm following or I'm obeying a different master teacher. Today, my master teacher now is a little different than my master teachers 20 years ago. This brother taught me not to be afraid of signs and symbols. There was a time when I would look at the Baphomet and piss myself because I was afraid of what I was looking at. This man put the signs in my face and made me deal with it. The reason why I know what the occult is because of Bobby Hemmett, and I'm thankful for him because this is a man that remember every book And every author, he didn't get his just due, put it like that. Many of these people didn't. But nonetheless, the reason why I know about and I'm interested in the occult to this day is because of Bobby Hemmett. And I'm also thankful for his contributions. This might surprise some people. Who is this young lady? This might surprise some. Who is this? Now, she's had a beyond impact on my life. Indirectly, though. See, inspiration could come from a lot of different places. And I would be lying to you if I said this woman inspired me to be a better man. Indirectly, though. She wasn't on the pulpit. She wasn't saying do this and do that. No. No. She created a character named Midnight. She's the author of the classic Coldest Winter Ever. And she created a character named Midnight. And the character that she created, this male in this book that she created, was a stand-up dude, dealt with a lot of principles in the philosophy. He was a street cat, but the principles that she made this man have, I was like, well, damn. And I don't hear too many men talk about manhood the way that Sister Soldier created the character Midnight. I don't even hear men talk about manhood like this. The way that she created and crafted this character, it had nothing to do with a job. It had nothing to do with his peen. It was these fundamental principles that this character lived by, and it came out of the mind of a woman. She is a master teacher indirectly to me because I wanted to be that character Midnight. He was that wavy. So I'm thankful for Sister Soldier. Man, it's so many more, but I just wanted to go through a few. This gentleman here, it's not just black. It's anybody that had an impact on my mind. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When I found this book, I wasn't ready for it. See, certain things about what we call consciousness, you got to be careful because if you are dealing with any trauma in you, a lot of this information doesn't land well because of anger. Anger. But I wasn't ready for this information. This is William Cooper, and this is Behold the Pale Horse. Now, I've looked in the chat, and you've pretty much known everybody. So salute to you. You know everybody. Salute. Salute to you. You is definitely Johnny on the spot with it. You know what I mean? Salute to you. But this is William Cooper, and he wrote the classic Behold the Pale Horse. Another thing that changed my mind forever. So those are some of my master teachers. All these people that you can find on YouTube, all of their information pretty much has been gutted and copied. But those are the architects of my mind. And it's many more. But I wanted to show you a lot of the fundamentals of my thinking because 20 years ago, these are the people that I was soaking up every day. And I wanted to talk to you about those master teachers because even though I love and revere those people, and I'm thankful for those people, they are not my master teachers right now. They took me as far as they could, and then I had to transition and embrace another master teacher. And I'm going to talk about that master teacher. And I'm going to talk about the effect that master teacher has on me. And this master teacher is also your master teacher, whether you know it or not. And I'm going to talk about that after the break. I done made money, lost it, and made it back again. I done took major losses in the game. You get the benefit from my losses. I sat with some of the realest people that ever walked this planet. You get the benefit from that. See, when I'm talking, man, I'm not one of these niggas, man, that didn't get it out the mud. I'm not freestyling. I'm not speculating. This is raw and authentic. This is the game that you apply ASAP and it change your life, and people see a difference in you. People say, wow, look at her. Wow, look at him. Man, whatever they doing, man, it must be working, cause damn, they look better. Damn, they sound better. They moving better. Well, that ain't free. You gotta pay for it just like I had to pay for it. Put the money on the wood. Respect the game. Respect my time. Y'all with me? I'm going to talk to you about this master teacher. But first, remember this verse because it's going to have a lot to do with my message, right? This verse is an interesting verse, right? And I pay close attention to it. It's Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. And it reads, whatever your hand finds to do, do with your might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. Whatever your hand finds to do, do with all your might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. Remember that verse, please. So I told you that I had these particular master teachers and I went on to another master teacher. Now, the master teacher that has been in my life and showing me things as of late is a little different than the other ones. Because this master teacher gave me something that the others didn't. The others taught me about Monsanto. The others taught me about systematic racism, things outside of me. But this master teacher gave me something very, very valuable. But when it was given to me, I was not mature enough. I was a little too weak and I was a victim, so I couldn't handle it. This master teacher gave me something so trivial. Y'all, they gave me a mirror. A mirror? Yeah. See, because my master teachers before taught me to look outward. This master teacher gave me a mirror to look inward. And when I began to look inward, I was angry at my teacher, y'all, because I didn't like what I seen. You know, I wanted to take the evilness out of the white man. I wanted to take the racism out of the system. I wanted to punish slave masters and the capitalists. I had a desire to go around the world and with my moral sword and tell the rest of the world how it should behave. And I was campaigning and I was trooping. And I was spreading the word about the Federal Reserve, about the Rockefellers, conspiracy theories. Oh man, I was front line. Hell, I was a hotep nigga. I'll be honest. I was hotepping, but I had criminal tendencies though, right? So I wasn't fully hotep because I'll do some dirt, right? And I was a little thotty too. So I wasn't full hotep. I never talked with goddess, mother, queen, but I was hotepping. But I did have criminal tendencies. But my master, my new master, the one that I'm going to tell you about later, if you stay with me, this master gave me a mirror, y'all, a mirror. Something that I was afraid of for a long time. I didn't want to look at myself because if I looked at myself, then I couldn't no longer blame my mother for her shortcomings. See, I needed a reason why I was falling short. And who's the closest person? Mama, right? Daddy got a big pass, but mama gets no passes. We real hard on mama. I know I was, because I didn't look at mama as a human female. I looked at her as mama. So whenever I would fall short in a relationship or wherever I messed up in life, I could always go to, because you know my mom's blah blah blah, right? But this master that I'm with now, and I'm gonna ride this thing out the rest of my life. This master gave me something that I didn't even know that I was afraid of. This master gave me a mirror. See, when I got the mirror, I realized I couldn't do both. I had to pick something. It's either save the world or save myself. See, before I was trying to save the world, but I was hurting myself in the process. See, those master teachers, it's not their fault. They had no clue that when I was listening to them, I was angry. When I was listening to them, I was a victim. When I was listening to them, I was so upset. I was so insecure. I was so depressed. I was so stressed. And I was just taking that knowledge and putting it on top of the fact that I really, really, really just wanted to be seen. Just wanted someone to come to my basketball games. I just wanted someone to look at me and notice me, right? I didn't want to be like a piece of furniture, right? I wanted some advocacy. I wanted someone to show up for me. So because I didn't have that, because I didn't have the advocacy, then I thought that I could pull the racism out of the white man. I thought that I could tell the world how it should be, when the real thing that I was upset at is myself. That's why I was unhappy. I was unhappy with me. I was unhappy with myself. But you know what? I read Confessions of an Economic Hitman. So I could go to the world and say how the world is unfair while I mistreat the women that I date. So I'm going out and I'm telling the white man, you're a racist, you're a thief, you're a this, while I'm stealing other people's time. While I'm not maximizing on the potential that people see in me. So I'm stealing their time. See, no disrespect to my master teachers previously, but they taught me how to look outside. And I never came back to me. Now, if I would have found them in a better place, it would have landed different. But I was angry and I needed a reason not to go inside. But this master teacher that I follow now has me saying that, you know what? Everything is my fault, no matter what. If I'm there and it happens, I take full responsibility, even if it's not my fault. There's power in that. If a relationship doesn't go the way that I think it should go, it's my fault. If a woman exposes me, all of my secrets and all of my text messages, it's my fault. If I get a woman pregnant and she decides to have the baby, even if I don't want the child, I'm the one that came in her. That's my fault. If my money is funny, it's my fault. I live in America. No excuse. If I'm riding down the street and a cop gets behind me and the police winds up blowing my head off, that too is my fault. Someone would say, well, how is that your fault? Because thoughts are things. There's no way in hell that cop would find me if I didn't attract that police. Now, I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm talking about me. If it happens to me, it is my fault. Even the pain. Because sometimes we attract the pain because there's a lesson to be learned. See, we like to pick and choose. We want the positive pain of yoga and the positive pain of lifting weights. We want the positive pain that's nice. But there's another kind of pain that we learn from, and we attract that pain as well. I'm only talking about me, and I'm only talking about the space that I'm in with the master teacher that is governing my life today. That master teacher has trained me to look in the mirror first. I always go back to me. What is it that I could have done to make this outcome different? Was I on time? Was I too early? Did I speak up for myself? If it happened to me, it is my fault. I am not a victim. Now, that's not a popular thing to say, right? Because victimhood is its own religion right now. And it produces massive amounts of dopamine. And it feels fire. You get high off of it. Accountability don't get you high. There's no dopamine for accountability. In fact, it sucks. But somebody got to do it. So the space that I'm at right now, because of this master teacher, everything is my fault. I want the maximum reward, so I got to take everything that comes with it. Everything. Stay with me because I want to tell you about this master teacher. And it's not going to be what you think, but I want to talk to you about this master teacher. But before I do, I want to talk about the process, because the process was very important. Again, I'm thankful for the masters that I showed you in the beginning of the video. This is no diss to them. They did their work, but it's always time to move on and transition. But I didn't learn about the process from them. And I learned about the process from this master, and I'll talk about this process after this break. Yo, this is Ken Billions. I wanted to let you know about an amazing opportunity. The Secrets to Getting Heaven on Earth series is half off. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity. Help me help you turn your no's into yeses. Help me help you master the science of campaigning. Help me help you to get heaven on earth. So if you like everything that you're hearing today and you want to have it close to you, go ahead and follow the link that I posted in the chat. Couple hours of good game, and it's half off right now. So all you got to do is follow the link. Matter of fact, 10 people either on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and follow the link. We'll wait for you to come back. You need that in your life. It's a game changer. It's raw and direct. And I talk to you about the ways that I think and how I move and how I turn my no's into yeses. So go ahead and follow that link, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, and we appreciate you in advance. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10 says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there's no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. Powerful verse. And you'll understand why I'm reading it. Whatever your hand finds to do, listen clear. Do it with your might. That means all of your strength. Do it with your might. That means all the life that you have in you. For there's no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. I'm thankful for that verse. It's a verse that I keep close to my heart because it says, do it with all your might, because when it's over, it's over. So look, let me raise my hand real quick, because there's some things that I'm guilty of. I'm guilty of that I love baddies. So I'm not a late bloomer in the game. No disrespect to a lot of the red pill dudes, but I'm not a late bloomer in the game. I've been putting them on their back since 1998. I raised my hand. Spirits ain't done with me yet. Still got a lot of nigga in me. So I love the baddies with fat camel toes that get loose. I love the awards. I love the cars. I love to pull up in the European looking crazy with the waves spinning. I love standing on the sofas in the club drinking champagne. I love all that. I love popping tags, man. I love compliments. I love going to the mall, shutting it down. I love all that. And because I love those things, there's areas that I messed up at. See, I skipped to that without doing the process. The thing in the middle that makes you a legend. The thing in the middle that you do when the camera is not looking. I went right to the baddies. I went right to the fatties and the camel toe. I went right to that. You know why? Because I didn't want to do the process. You know what the process is? The process is waking up early. The process is the first man there and the last one to leave. The process is studying while everybody is turning up. The process is sacrifice. The process is becoming somebody different to get where you got to go. I didn't want to do none of that. I want the baddies, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put them on their back without putting no work in. Here's the funny thing. All those things that I said that I liked are not here no more. So the baddies that I used to trick off with and put them on their back, I don't know where they at. But that was important to me. But you see how important it is I don't know where they at. We have no relationship, right? The same cars that I thought was cool, when I drove them off the parking lot, they lost value. I can't even find my awards. They're boxed up in storage. All the compliments didn't mean nothing. You see, the process stays. That's the trick bag. The process stays. Who you become in the process, you keep. All the shit that you get from it, it goes. New dick turn to old dick. That's real, ladies. It does. So the fireworks that you get from this new honey, he turns into an old honey. New fur burger turns into old fur burger. The new car ends up turning into the old car. New shoes turn into old shoes. All the things that we love and we dive headfirst into, it depreciates. But the process don't change. The discipline that you learn in getting into your goals, you could take that anywhere. That's yours to keep. So the D could leave, the breezies could leave, the process stays. Right? The books and the knowledge that you have to learn to get to your goals. Can't nobody take that. The whip ends up breaking down. It's all about becoming. Becoming matters more than the results. The same chicks that I skipped the process for, when I seen them again, I'm like, hell nah. I can't believe that I gave up the process for that. I can't believe that I skipped steps for that. She let him hit it. How I be feeling, y'all? Like, wait a minute, wait, hold on. You mean to tell me that I skipped the process? You mean to tell me that I gave up the process? You mean to tell me that I cut some corners to go spend time with you and you let him scrape? Ah, man. Talk about looking dumb. You want to talk about a dumbass nigga? That's dumb. The things that I valued, and you can't skip the process. It's the process that make Kobe, make LeBron, that makes Serena. It's the process that make Denzel. It's the process. It's the behind the scenes. It's the ugly work. It's the going over a script over and over and over again, shooting the same jumper over and over and over again. You cannot skip steps to greatness. You can't skip steps to have things. You can't skip steps to be the highest version of yourself. You can't skip steps. Eventually, you're going to have to do it. I would know because I've been a master step skipper. And all the things that I skip step for ain't even around no more. Now that is the mind fuck. That things is everything and nothing at the same time. Give it a second. The baddie that you head over heels for, bro, eventually you're going to get tired of banging it. Give it a second. Level up, sis. Level up. He become an old dude. And then you looking for a new trick. I know this game. You can't come to me with nothing about the game that I don't know. New tricks become old tricks. You know how, baby? Because he want a younger woman. So you better crack him for every. Okay, I'm getting off on him. That's another. That's my old self trying to come out. I'm trying to stay on course. Don't skip the process. What do we do when the camera's not looking? Behind the scenes. What are we reading? Who are we becoming? And I'm telling you this because I'm not a late bloomer in the game. A lot of you men are late bloomers in the game. And with being a late bloomer, you're going to make some rookie mistakes. Don't skip the process because the things that you think are important is temporary. But the process, is ours. The becoming, y'all. That in the middle mark between start and finish, there's details in there. Those details matter. It's because it's those details that makes people talk about you forever. It's the details. And when you dive head first into the process, you really, really, really feel the feeling of true love. True love. And I'm going to talk about true love after this break. The worst time in my life was when my mama was laid up in the hospital dying. I just watched her decay. You know, it was crazy. And I was looking out the window and I seen planes in the sky. People was traveling. It was cars on the highway. People was traveling. People was on their phone, just doing human things, you know. The worst period of my life, the world was moving. It didn't stop for your boy at all. She ended up dying and I was sitting right next to her. I seen the life leave my mama. The life leave my mama. I can't unsee that. Man, I ain't got no fear. What could you do to me? You think I care what you think? If I could see that, you think I care what you think? That's why I ain't got no problem telling you to pay like you weigh. Sock it to my pocket. I'm charging for my pain. You ain't gonna sit up here and take my game from my pain and run off and break bread with somebody else. Nah, you break bread with me. Respect the game. I ain't got no fear, so I don't care what you think. It's time for that 20 piece. This that $20 call to action, man. Pay like you weigh. I'm mashing for my rations, always. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10 says, whatever your hand finds to do, Do it with your might. For there's no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. Whatever your hand finds to do it with your might. For there's no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. Now I had mentioned true love to you. And see, my master teachers, they didn't tell me this part of the game. That it was only one type of love. One. Has nothing to do with romance. Has nothing to do with being in a relationship. It's only one type of love, and that is the love for self. That's it. And the love of self is so powerful that those that stand next to us, they get the residual effect. So it feels like you're loving them, but you're not. You're loving yourself. And they are a beneficiary of the love that you have for self. If we live in a holographic universe, then none of this shit is real. So how can I ever love something that ain't real? These walls around me are not real. The woman is not real. None of this is real. The realest thing is ourselves. The love of self is the only love that exists. If you want to love the hell out of a man, love yourself. If you want to love a woman, love yourself. If you want to show love to your children, love yourself. They automatically get the light. They automatically are nourished and full. My master teachers didn't tell me that. That's something I learned late in the game. See, I thought by loving others that inevitably you begin to love yourself, but that's not true. What ends up happening is you wind up on E, because trying to love everybody is you loving nobody. The love of self is that powerful that it becomes an umbrella for other people. It becomes a guiding light for others, believe it or not. If people around you don't feel loved, well, that's because you're not loving you. I promise you this, if you've ever heard me say anything, I know this to be true. If you begin to love you, then anybody around you, they will feel it. They will feel it, man. Self-love is the only kind of love. It's dealing with the present. It's acceptance. See, because this is the thing. If you love yourself, then that means you know the true nature of you. This is how you begin to love others. Because you don't put nothing extra on anybody else, because you know your shortcomings. See, when you begin to love you, you love your shadow, and that allows you to see other people's. How can you ever judge someone when you love yourself? You know your weirdness. You know your secrets. You know your skeletons. You know where you fall short at. You know your own mortality. So when you begin to love that in yourself, man, you are inclusive and you embrace others because you know the true nature of yourself. The illest dopamine that you'll ever feel is when you stay loyal to the process. When you finish what you start, it increases the love for yourself. How many people in the chat have you ever set a goal and killed the goal? And how did you feel? Then you want to celebrate with others? Then you say, oh man, drinks is on me. Right? You felt like giving. You felt confident. The more that you dive headfirst in the process, the more you fall in love with self. Because you know you're not a fraud. See, the brain can't differentiate what's real and what's not. So the brain will have to be thinking you're a fraud. Why? Because inside of your mind, you know that you're not the genuine article. You know there's things on your vision board that you haven't got to. How do you feel when you accomplish a task? How do you feel? What do you think about yourself? And that love right there that you have for self, everybody else feels. So the more you dive headfirst into the process, the more you stay committed to the path, the more you stay committed to the journey, the more that you have love for others. I'm ready to tell you who my master teacher is. I think I've delayed long enough. It got to be somebody big, right? Because for me to move on for those other masters, then this master got to be incredible, right? But I'm ready to talk to you about it. We're going to take the last break. And after this break, I'm going to tell you this mysterious master that I have. I want to introduce you to why I'm the person now. So anything you love about me, it's because of this master. And I'm going to talk about that after our last break. Stay with me. Don't let nobody trick you into thinking that you can't do it. Don't let nobody trick you into thinking that you was just born to suffer.
Right, right.
Don't let nobody trick you into believing that your dreams are impossible. See, when you got game, you can make the impossible possible. When you got game, you defy the odds.
Yo.
When you got game, you make things happen. Things don't happen to you.
Talk that shit, Ken.
All things is possible with game, baby. Take it from me. I done did it from Maine to Spain.
Come through the door with it.
My game cost me. I paid for it. So you should too. Hit that cash app. Pay like you weigh. Whatever you got is good, baby. Just bring it to the table. Can't billions. You guys ready to know who this master is that I'm talking about, that I'm bigging up? Before I talk to you about that master, Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do with all your might, for there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. Whatever your hand finds to do with all of your might. So if you're going to be a wife, do it with all your might. You're going to be a mother, do it with your might. You're going to travel, do it with all your might. Why? Because there's no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. This is it. This is it. But I want to tell you about this master teacher. And even though I showed you the other master teachers in the beginning, this master teacher has had the most impact on my life. This master teacher has taught me about seasons and reasons, taught me about myself. This master teacher has exposed the flaws in my life, things where I need help at. This master teacher got me looking in the mirror and my features are changing. My body is different. Sometimes I might hear my knee crack when I stand up. This master teacher is the reason the leaves fall. New seasons come and go. Old stores that you used to go into as a child, they're not there no more. They've been replaced with something. My favorite players come in the league and then they leave. Movies that I enjoyed that was classics, they're out the theaters. I used to have cassette tapes and CDs, they're gone. His master teacher is people I love forever are not even here no more. I love those people that I showed you. But my greatest master teacher is time. That's why I was reading the book of Ecclesiastes. Time. I don't care if you read Destruction of Black Civilization. I don't care if you study Egyptology. I don't care how many level up courses that you do. I don't care how much you engage in the red pill. Time is going to have the most effect on your life. Time. Time is something that we mismanage. Time is something that we don't honor because we waste it. We waste our time in depression. We waste our time protesting, always angry. We waste our time being disgruntled, always uncomfortable. We don't use our time in gratitude. We don't use our time in service and discovery. We don't use our time in stillness. If your master teachers are the same as they were 15 years ago, then you are using your time wrong. See, this master that I waited to tell you about, it ain't just my master. It's yours too. How do I know that this is your master? Look at a picture of you 20 years ago and look at you now. Do you see anything different? See, you was coming and going, to and fro, to work, to the children, to the club. And something was happening without you noticing. Time was teaching. Time was taking its toll. Are a lot of your friends still in your life? The ones that you thought was going to be down forever? No. Your ride or die boyfriend or girlfriend, the one that you guys make bold claims with, we're always going to be together. We're always going to do that. Are they there anymore? What separated y'all? Time. The house that you grew up in. Are you there anymore? No. What? Why not? Time. Time. This is our greatest teacher. And unfortunately, I feel many of us are not allowing it to teach. We're overstaying our welcome in places. We're in relationships that should have ended a long time ago. We are not being honest with the season that we are in currently. Our ideals are outdated. Our approach has no strategy. Time is talking to us, and we're not listening. Time is telling us that we're going to spend the majority of our life in old age. So we should prepare. We should build solid relationships right now, today, for the long haul. We should read books that represent the times for the long haul. We need to unlearn and relearn. Ain't that what Derek Gray say? Unlearn and relearn. Time is telling us that. We're playing a lot of games. And time is talking. And you know what time is really saying to us all? Time is tapping us on our shoulder and saying, you'll never have enough of me. Look at your children. Look at your husband or your wife, your friends, everything you love to do. Understand that there's not enough time. You run out of it. So even though time is a hell of a teacher, it is also cruel and it's also merciless. And it's taking its toll on us. And you have to make a decision now. You have to make a decision. Can you live up to the Coin Gang Declaration of Independence? Heaven now Necessary narcissism, do without will but do no harm, value for value, selfish now so you can be selfless later, top shelf for nothing, root chakra activation, flying high, 9 on the dope. Can you commit to that? See, that's something that if you spend your time doing, your life will look different. It's about the long haul. Can you commit to that Declaration of Independence? You don't need me around to commit to that Declaration of Independence. That is a personal thing. You don't need me. Time is my master teacher now. Time. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there's no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. If you are on Facebook at this point, if you've been hearing me for a long time and you don't have a supporter badge, that is disrespectful. If you're on YouTube and you never hit that super chat, that's disrespectful. Time, y'all. Use it wisely, honor it, and it'll love you back. My name is Ken Billions. Peace.
Biggest game is like, remember we was all back in high school? Some of you may be still in high school or whatever, but follow me. We had the regular class and then you had honors class. And I feel like Ken Billions' game is nothing but honors class. Everything that you learned in life and been through in life, or whatever he's talking about at that certain time. And, like point of reference, game for guys. Everybody learn game from somebody and this and that, and it's all over the place. But once I listened to Game for Guys, it was like being in an honors class. Ken is a brilliant guy. I still listen to him to this day. Listen to him almost every other day, and I stay studying. And if I look at his video and he's giving us homework, I'm gonna look through that video. I'm gonna write my notes down. I'm gonna do my homework. Then I'm gonna watch the next video. I mean, you just can't get enough of the game and the knowledge that this brother brings to you. He's allowed me to look back into history, my own history. I found out about black people that I never even knew about, black millionaires and people like that. Recently, I learned about the reticular activating system, and that's something that I'm studying up on as we speak. Which I plan on reprogramming myself. You know what I'm saying? So overall, the Ken Billions game has done a lot for me. It's allowed me to elevate as a man, as a father. It just allowed me to be more excited about life and not be in the program of being oppressed. And that's one of the main things for me that I have to say that this game has done for me. I'm so glad that I ran across it.